morning. I'm very, very glad to see you again. And do some nice work. Remember, don't take the instruments off like that. Keep them there. Also the next group. Huh? Today we begin with the first movement. Continue.
I think Mahler is very difficult for a conductor and an orchestra because Mahler is so particular in the score. I mean, every note practically is given attention by Mahler with an articulation marking or a dynamic, or even he'll say things in the score on how to play certain things because he was a conductor himself.
Like he'll say, don't drag the triplets, or make sure that you don't rush this bar.
But Mr. Eschenbach still is able to bring his own interpretation to it without straying away from the score.
Now you found the character. These little things, and the singing and the going away and the beautiful. And then that was nice. The beginning, taking the atmosphere of the echo. And the eighth. Very good. That thing. Can we do that 8 maybe? Yeah, 8. It's more joyful.
It's hard to come up to someone and explain to them why you're moved by a Mahler symphony.
When Mahler symphony is over, it's like you've been through a journey of life.
His music just means life. I mean, it has so much spark and exuberance and extreme personality in it that your own personality can be shown in it and through it and magnified.
I don't know what happens, but it makes you in a better mood suddenly. You're just like so triumphant and so happy.
It covers such a range of emotions that however you're feeling at the time, like there will be a part that you really relate to.
That's one thing about Mahler, is that he expands his emotional range so wide that sometimes, there are the bird calls and then there's also death.
He makes such a connection between all the instruments to create a whole. I think that's what's so special about Mahler's music.
At the beginning of Mahler 1, there's this sustained strings.
It's almost like annoying at first because it's so high. And the second line is they're playing, and the first line is they're playing it. And then there's this section where the trumpets play outside the stage.
I think you have to go to position 2. It's from far away. It's in the woods. Close the door half. Half. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey, that's okay. Because we have a Schlitz there. Once more.
The beginning is about nature. There's bird calls. The second movement has his dance. The third movement is a funeral march. And the end is completely triumphant. The end is joy. It's like exuberance, which is the exact opposite of the third movement, which is a funeral march followed by suffering. It's kind of traditional sounding Jewish music. It's very sad.
When Mahler was writing his first symphony, he incorporated a lot of different tunes that were, clearly recognizable to the people that were coming to the concerts. He weaved different Jewish tunes into things, and that's why I think it got such a wide array of response. After the first performance, that half the people booed and half the people cheered.
It's a very personal thing, but Mahler, being a Jew, was born to Jewish parents, there are certain kinds of pain in the history of Jewish people. And I hear a lot of that in his music. There's so much emotion, a lot of pain and sorrow, and just so much emotion going on.
And I think Eschenbach brings that out. The most important thing for me with his conducting is that he gives it life. I mean, that's not just anything to do with Mahler, really. That's just the way he conducts music. He gives it life. And he indulges, too. He indulges in the music. He stretches things out. But Mahler indulges when he composes. Mahler is bold. Everything he does is on a vast emotional scale. And I think Eschenbach brings that out quite amazingly.
Once was the same thing, one before 53.
Eschenbach has a very clear idea of what it means to him, and he shows that to us. And I feel that when we first played it with him, we played it differently. Even though Mahler is very clear about his directions, at the same time there is room to make it personal. But then at the same time, Eschenbach has his idea is so crystal clear of what he wants, and he shows it to us, and we see that in his gestures, not just keeping time. I mean, even his facial expressions, he attempts to get us to serve what he feels was Mahler's intention.
So now we get it. Now it's the right sound, triumphant, great, brilliant, big, joyful, bliss, heaven, everything.
I think Mahler sets us up to take risks and sort of just live in the moment, and so that's what I love about it.
I love music, and then at that point you can't imagine yourself being anywhere else except here on that stage playing that part, and it's amazing.